Call to order this meeting of the Osawatomie City Council on March 12, 2026 at 6 p.m. here at City Auditorium. Mr. Clerk, will you do a roll call?
Councilman Shasteen.
Here.
Councilman Masick, absent. Councilman Dean.
Here.
Councilman Dickinson.
Here.
Councilman Hennis.
Here.
Councilman Bratton.
Here.
Council Lady Philippin.
Here.
Council Lady Caldwell.
Here.
Mayor Hampson.
Here. If you will stand for Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for invocation. Councilman Dickinson, will you lead us? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for another evening. Pray that your spirit would be in this place this evening. Thank you for our city leaders. Pray that you'll give them wisdom and grace tonight. We just thank you for our town, the privilege it is to be able to live here, and to give wisdom tonight, and we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Beth. We'll move on to consent agenda. Consent agenda items will be acted upon in one motion unless the council member requests an item be removed for discussion and separate action.
Mayor, I move we approve the consent agenda as provided.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilman Dickinson and a second by Council Lady Philippin to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any other questions or comments from council on this? Mr. City Manager.
Councilman Shasteen.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Hennis.
Aye.
Councilman Bratton.
Aye.
Council Lady Philippin.
Aye.
Council Lady Caldwell.
Motion carries. We will move on to comments from the public. Citizen participation will be limited to 5 minutes. Please stand, be recognized if you have a comment. And we'll start with Pastor Ova. Do you have anything you'd like to share about the church?
We're good.
You're good tonight. Okay. Is there any other comments from the public?
I would like to.
Yep. Come to the podium and give us your name, and like I said, we got 5 minutes.
Name's Ian Day. Family's been around here for generations, like Nick and many others in this community. I'm here to address my concerns about the data center. Right now, there's a lot of talk about it, but this is a fight that's playing all over the world, not just small towns. And there's some genuine concerns. Though I may not live in the town, it does affect me in several ways. First off is the light pollution. I live at a very high elevation. I moved here and lived here because I like the night sky, and the light pollution from being in a city, I didn't like it. And I do not want to see that go away. I will be seeing that every night. So that's one concern I have with that for myself. Second is something that I haven't seen brought up yet is that wanting to feed from the Magazine River. That river is special to many, many people, not only people, but the creatures that live in it. Not many people know that the Magazine is only one of 2 rivers in Kansas that have the paddlefish. And they've been around for millions of years. And they're the last one of their species. The Chinese paddlefish went extinct in 2020. I'm concerned about when they do the construction, the leaks, what will get in that river? What will it do to our ecosystem? And it'd be a tragedy to lose those. And that's another thing I love about the river is I fish that river, and I'm concerned about the water consumption. This is something that is being discussed all over the world, and it's not a joke. Water scarcity is real, and we need to be conserving what we have and making sure we're good stewards of the land. But another concern I do have is people that are not being spoke for is the sound that is coming from them. I've seen this as a closed-looped evaporation system. They do create noise. It's not a high frequency. It's a very low frequency. And it can be heard up to 2 miles and in good condition. like say fog, quiet winter day, it can be heard for 4.5 miles. What concerns me about this is the residents at the Osawatomie State Hospital. They are in a vulnerable state to start with. And I feel that this noise pollution will be detrimental to their treatment and recovery. And I hope people are taking that into consideration. Not only that, the people that work there. Because from the research I've done, they can try to soundproof all they want. It does go through buildings. And they can hear that. And that is something that is very concerning to me. Not only them, the employees. I mean, what's going to happen to them? This proposed data center is only going to create a few jobs, but what is it going to affect the hospital if they state doesn't want to provide soundproof? It can't be done. I feel that it may be putting also the employees, not only the patients, but the employees, their jobs at risk. So these are genuine concerns that I have about them. I said the one in Spring Hill, they shut that down because it was going to be next to a school. So I hope that's taken under consideration. Just because of the school, but this is patients and employees. So I do have a few questions. I know that they're in a pre-development agreement. Is there information like a pack to see what they are building and the pre-agreed agreement itself for the public? Is there any packets or anything on that?
Online,
Is there
information about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have everything you're asking for, but
Right. And when does the pre-agreement end?
The
When
end
they
of,
go into the next stage?
the end of June is when the 6-month portion is. As of July 1st, I believe they would have to pay the city 3% of the value of the property per year while they hold on to it up to 3 years while they're discovering whether it's feasible or not.
Okay. And question I have that if they do move forward, question I have, are they going to go with a non-disclosed agreement? That out, non-disclosed agreement means they pretty much act every bit of information under trade secrets.
That's not been discussed yet, but I mean, they may bring it up at some point in the
Okay.
future. Ask for everyone that's going to be a part of the conversation going forward that it be put under non-disclosure, but that's to be determined.
For sure. A question I also have, and I know they can back out of the agreement at any time. Can this city, if we decide that it's not feasible, to back out at any time?
All right, and that was your 5 minutes there.
Dang.
All right.
All right. Thank you for your
Thank
time,
you.
council. I appreciate it.
Yep. Any other comments from the public?
Hello, my name is Luke Wilson. I live at 334. I live north of the Osawatomie State Hospital. I'm a little late to the party, I guess. I had just seen a picture of my property surrounded by this thing. I'm going to share two property lines instead of going through. We're talking about the data center. I just have a lot of concerns and questions, and just wondering if there's anything that could be done, any information online that you guys could put up to kind of ease people's minds about some of these things like noise pollution, light pollution. The corner of one of the substations is going to be about 100 feet from my bedroom. And I plan to be there for a long time, and I'd just like to know long-term effects, if it's safe. And before you guys signed off on the pre-development agreement, if you guys have found that research, I'd just like access to it as well. So not very well prepared. So thank you for your time. station, whatever, 300 megavolts. It's just concerning to me, I guess, and I don't know enough about it. So
Understood.
look for.
Joe, before you get down there, if it's about your, property at 316, if this is about your property at 316, we'll have that hearing after public comment
When? Today?
today. Yeah.
How'd that whole pay to? How'd the whole pay to? How down the street down here? How down the street? I'll be coming down a long time ago. Hit the petrol of it. Hit the petrol of it. You know, not did nothing to some people. Where can people look at it? Look at it. Look at him out down here, 1 block out here. Born in, right down here, 1 block. 1 block, that's born in, not do nothing about it. 1 block that way. Everybody look at it. Look at it. 1 block that way. No, been that for a long time. Pick on everybody else, not me. Don't pick on me. I'm dead proud of it. And have this down there, you piled up in it. That pocket stuck in the main thing. On the sidewalk down there, you pick the bucket, I pick the rim up, thought did a ticket pocket on the seat, I picked the town rim up. Thought me $30 I don't want my money back. You know what I did. You know what I did. And I got the more people. I had the duck pile you put down there. You pack my teeth off. You pack a tuck and stand at it. You want to copy at it? Look at it. Look at it. He packed duck and stand at his feet. He packed duck and stand at his feet. He did. You think people think it's funny on me? Ain't funny for me. That's the whole. You know something? I rebuilt 2 houses on Main Dag Hill. I tore 1 down. You never did that. I did. So 1 house down the Main Dag Hill. I repaired 2 remodeled 2 of them. What you did? You did nothing. So you never done nothing. I did. Spend my money. Remodel that house. Condemn. Tore 1 house down. Nobody take that. You about made. And my dog bought him. You got killed more already. You got killed more already. Right here. The hut down there on time you. Let me hand that down there. You know what you did. Look at me. And you put nail in my cement too. But so past the dawn, you have a nail in my cement. You did, you contacted did. Oh, okay. You know what you did. And past the dawn, you have a cement in my cement. You know what? You don't know nothing about cement. I walk on it. I'm 85 years old. I didn't thought of it. I'm going to be dead today for the 2. Okay, I'll come back later.
Any other public comment?
Sorry, we get to do this during public comment. Hey, Hattie Sack, Osawatomie Chamber of Commerce. I'm here to actually recognize one of our newest members. Councilman Kenny Dean has joined the chamber. So we wanted to be able to recognize his support for our ongoing promotions and business relations. So if I could just take a minute of your time, stick the sign in front of him, take his picture, and I'll be on my way.
And of course, you must smile. So that's also my other report.
Yeah, make sure we have the right side of the slide, wherever you want to hold it, as long as it is in front of your face, because we do want to like take a picture of you. There we go, I'll get two in case you blink. Perfect. Thank you very much. Sorry? I know, I'm a demanding person, what can I say? Thank you very much. Moving on.
Any other public comment?
Only pertaining to the data center.
So that, we're not actually discussing a data center tonight, but if you have comments that you would like to make about it, then this would be the time.
That's not like a reading screen here. The data center is not like a reading screen.
It's not. I did it. It is or it isn't?
It is not.
Okay. Do you have other public comment you would like to?
I call it quite personal, the things I have to say.
Yeah, this would probably be the time.
I live at 610 18th Street. My name is Ruben Stevenson, and I
This condemnation.
Oh, this is a condemnation one? Are you here to talk about your condemnation?
have a house. Where I live in a trailer house on 18th Street.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll have that hearing about that house specifically later.
That's what I was asking.
Oh, sorry, I didn't understand what you were,
I don't have a speech impediment at all.
sorry.
That's all understood.
Any other public comment not pertaining to the condemnations? Seeing that we have none, we will move on to public hearing. Item A, condemnation hearings. The first one's 316 East Pacific, Resolution 1356.
Good evening, council. I am presenting 316 East Pacific. The property's been vacant since April of 2025. No permitted work has gone on inside of the property. Issues inside the property range from spongy, uneven floors and a bedroom wall to the north that can be pushed with ease. Likely structural issues. P-trap was barely connected in the kitchen, so there's plumbing issues somewhere. East side of the property, outside of the property, the porch was in poor repair. Steps were uneven, loose handrails, holes in the awning along with a fixture that could allow moisture to get in into the electrical connection. Under the awning, there's exposed electrical wiring leading under the siding and possibly inside the trailer as well. So that was one of our main concerns, was that exposed wire. If it got wet, the hazards that it could cause from that. So.
There's no one living in this structure.
Correct.
How long has it been vacant?
It's been vacant April of 2025. You'll see a letter.
This letter is dated April 10th of 2025.
Yes, sir. There was a resident that was previously living in there. He was getting ready to move out or be evicted, one of the two. And we were able to get inside the trailer, see what the problems were inside that he was letting us know. So that way they could be addressed.
So he was using the rental,
The Healthy Homes.
the Healthy Homes request
registration.
for inspection because he believed the house was not healthy
Yes, sir.
living conditions. So that was on April 1st in your letter that you received a call. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add about this one?
No, sir.
This is the hearing part on yours, Joe, if you would like to come discuss that.
Nope, I never took my tenant out. Yeah. I never think about that out nothing. Him, he put it on my door. He never tell me what wrong with that house. I pay for it in my that house. People rent it from me. Here's the bills. Here's the rent I pay for. Right here, a check. Here's a check I pay in town. I have a check. I pay the town for water and sewer, rent, everything on it. I pay money. Want to look at it?
I can.
I'm going to get the dad. What's the dad? I hear one. I hear the other one.
And these were for utilities
Yep,
or
yep.
for utility?
Yep. And people in my house. He put here on my deal. He kept my man out.
I wasn't a part of that, but what I see is your renter called the city requesting that
No,
we could,
better done move out that one.
at 316 East Pacific.
No, but no.
This guy called and requested
No,
an
I'm
inspection.
comfortable with that. Somebody, not me. Work for 3-4 months. I've been working. You see how I pay? Man in the other house. I was pre-painted. I done everything. Man in my house. He come on, but here, the law agreed. You done Jim something, you gotta tell me. Nobody told me nothing.
Never got a letter or nothing.
Nothing.
Oh.
Yep, yeah, he put on my door. See it, they mark anything down? Mark it in the nail. Come down, look at it. He told me he can't do nothing about it. He had to tell me what's wrong with it. Nobody told me nothing. Told him nothing too. You read it?
It says do not occupy.
Yeah. He never told me, no, why? He never told me why. He won't tell me why. He never did it. I just stood here over here, Tony. Tony just think over here. Yeah, you know, I remodeled 2 houses on the main drag hill. I moved 1 out. Nobody think nothing about that. Nobody right here done that except me. You remodeled 2 houses on the main drag, tell one down, move up. Nobody did it but me. If I had done off it, I tore a house down. I tried to funeral home, on that side of the funeral home, on that side, I remodeled that home. Nobody say nothing. Everybody want to pick on me. I can't take it no more. On. And he covered the tongue tied some of it too. What do you think I ought to do?
Is there anybody else who would like to talk about 316 East Pacific? Oh, did I supposed to give a time that we open that hearing?
I got it.
Yeah. I'll ask a second time if there's anybody else that would like to speak about 316 East Pacific. Third and final time, if anybody would like to speak about 316 East Pacific. Since I see none, we'll close this hearing at 6:24.
Gonna vote on that, Miguel?
Is that how we want to do it? Vote on that?
One at a time.
So we'd have to get a motion second.
Hey. Well, come here when I call you. He owe me rent money. Who you rent money? He never said. He might say anything.
Joe, we've closed the hearing on this.
Huh?
We closed the hearing.
He paid full rent money. He never paid me.
Okay.
We see a motion?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 1356, condemnation of 316 East Pacific.
Second. Got a motion by Councilman Hennis and a second by Councilman Shasteen to approve resolution 1356, the condemnation of 316 East Pacific. Any other question or comments from council? Brett?
Councilmember Chastain,
Aye.
Councilman Dean,
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson,
Aye.
Councilman Hennis,
Aye.
Councilman Bratton,
Aye.
Council Lady Philippin,
Aye.
Council Lady Colwell.
Motion carries. We'll move on to number 2, 715 Walnut, resolution 1357.
Uh,
6.6.
Well, we're not, is this part of the opening? All right, we'll open this hearing on 715 at 6:26.
So 715 Walnut, the property's been vacant, early 2025. It was bought by a KC Sweet Homes company in June. I've been in contact with the owner the past couple of days. I talked to him back in December as well, and in November, telling him that he needed to have permits pulled, contractor licenses, for subs, all of that. He has failed to do that, and some of the problems with the property, the owner hasn't pulled any permits. I did catch his work crew in there. They had the whole subfloor completely removed. They were working on structural beams and supports. There was a severe example. There was a gas pressure test that an HVAC company pulled a permit for. While I was in there in the bathroom, I ended up falling through some of that old subfloor that was there. Walls have been opened, unpermitted electrical work has been going on, window frames are rotting out. The east and south outer walls, they're severely bowing out away from the house. There's exposed electrical out, shingles falling off the roof. There's a area in the living room area where it shows on the inside of the ceiling that there is water damage, so there's possible leaks within this property as well. Who knows how many other multiple areas or what type of unknown damage is also within the structure of the house.
So you said you talked to him the last couple of days? And
Yes.
I'm aware that there's a hearing tonight on this.
Yes, ma'am. He lives up in the city and he wasn't going to be able to make it. I did offer if he would send in an email to give reason for why the building or why the house should not be condemned. And I haven't gotten an email from him. That email was sent early this morning. And that was basically all.
He said he was aware he was supposed to pull permits and he never has,
Yes, sir.
or gave you contractor licensing, nothing.
Correct. Multiple email threads as well as phone calls with him.
So this will be the opportunity for public speaking about 715 Walnut. Will be pertaining to 715 Walnut Avenue. Is there any public comment over 715 Walnut? Second time. This is about 715 Walnut Avenue. And the third time. Public comment over 715 Walnut. Seeing there is none, we will close the hearing at 6:30 on 715 Walnut Avenue. We will need a motion if we choose to pass that.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution 1357 condemning property at 715 Walnut.
Second. We have a motion by Councilman Bratton and a second by Councilman Shasteen to approve resolution 1357, the condemnation of 715 Walnut. Any other questions or comments from council? Mr. Brett?
Councilman Shesteen,
Aye.
Councilman Dean,
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson,
Aye.
Councilman Hennis,
Aye.
Councilman Bratton,
Aye.
Council Lady Philippin,
Aye.
Council Lady Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll move on to number 3, 715 Pacific.
715, sorry. Good to go.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Open the hearing at 6:31.
715, Pacific, this property is showing extreme roof warping. The siding is detaching from the structure. On the outside of the property, the walls are showing severe cracking where the owner was putting electrical tape. Let me reframe that. On the inside, I think I said the outside, sorry about that. Was putting electrical tape over, the walls to keep them braced in from falling in. The foundation's old stone foundation. It's showing age in multiple areas. There was a recent fire from a heating unit on the inside. The tenant was relocated to a new rental property, and the property has been vacant since. And there's been no efforts to make corrections since the tenant has moved out. And that's
How long has this been vacant?
the fire was around November, December time. So it's been vacant since then. Sorry, I don't have a specific date.
Did the owner talk with you?
The owner, Dave Slider, has talked with us a few times. It's been since now his son-in-law has taken over the property, and they are looking at selling it to a couple. I'm unfor sure what their plans are with the property as well. Last I knew, they were looking at possibly demoing the house and having it removed.
Good. You know, these owners, may not, do they know that's being condemned? The new owners possibly.
I spoke with Sean Tuesday, or it was either Tuesday or Wednesday. Sean Slider called me, and I told him that it was on for tonight, and he asked if it could be postponed, and I said, we don't typically postpone condemnation hearings because the hearing date has been set for tonight, and we have to restart the whole process. He said it's under contract or they're in the process of selling it. And when I asked him what the person's intention was, that's when he said that their intention was to tear it down. And I advised him that they needed to understand that the hearing was tonight and that it was up for condemnation. So whether or not Mr. Slider passed that on to the buyers or not, I do not know. We've not received any phone calls to my knowledge of anybody inquiring about this house outside of owners calling us.
Any other questions for Daniel from council? No. Is there any public comments over 715 Pacific? I'll ask a second time if there's comments for 715 Pacific. Third and final time to ask for questions or comments from the public on 715 Pacific. Close this hearing at 6:35. Mr. Mayor,
hard for me to do this, but I move we go with, resolution 1358, condemnation of 715 Pacific. I grew up around that house. That was my great grandmother's house. I mowed the yard there for years. Makes me sad that this house has come to this point.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilman Dickinson and a second by Councilman Shasteen to approve resolution 1358 for condemnation of 715 Pacific. Any other questions or comments from council? Mr. Glendon?
Councilman Shasteen.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Hennis.
Aye.
Councilman Bratton.
Aye.
Council Lady Philippin.
Aye.
Council Lady Caldwell.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll move on to number 4, resolution 1359, condemnation of 1130 Walnut.
I'm here.
Open this hearing at 6:36.
The property's been vacant since July of 2025. The property is showing signs of vertical and horizontal cracking along the foundation. The wall to the west is showing signs of failure in the foundation, as well as what looks like a missing window, severe dilapidation of the structure. The owner has made some attempts to salvage the property, but little to no progression has been made. The retaining walls are showing signs of bowing, where the wall is. The front steps of the porch have also been separated from the property for some time now, while the awning has just been left braced out. I have not been inside I have not been inside this property, so I'm for sure how the inside of the property is. They are present here tonight. I can't remember their names, but I have been in contact with the son, past couple times he's been in.
You good?
Yes, sir.
All right, so public comment on 1130 Walnut. I see you're coming up.
With, the stairs and the porch, the whole wall's been taken out, and I've been slowly making progress.
The driveway wall, but
Um,
trying to collapse, so he's been digging it out,
by hand.
and he's trying to, yeah, you'll see brand new,
I have like 200 cinder blocks to build the wall. I was gonna build the wall before the porch and everything, so it doesn't slant over.
it's kind of hard to do in the winter.
And I work in the Olathe, and every day off, I come over here and try to work on it a little bit.
Did you say you work and live in Olathe?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I live next door from his father. So we've been trying to get stuff done. Actually, I was thinking about buying windows for it and stuff too. And trying to, what he's planning on doing is putting cinder block wall back up and have a drainage right beside the cinder block wall.
Before the wall was, collapsed, it didn't have any drainage. That's why the wall fell. It wasn't built right.
Are there any drainage issues inside with all this, what looks like foundation issues?
No.
That and shingling was coming off the side of the house. And so we took it off. He told us to take it off. Then he was wanting to inspect the wood from the attic. But it doesn't have a wood frame. It's metal. it's got I-beams in the basement too, that's holding up the concrete floor. In other words, the upstairs floor is concrete with I-beams underneath it.
See if they would.
So we understand this is a full concrete structure with a metal roof, concrete floor.
Actually,
floor.
it's got the metal frame. That wood is over that, just
Because they were complaining,
boards
Start
over.
there and just work your way around.
there's all the metal, that's the metal frame. There was shingles on the outside of this, and I guess that's not up to code anymore. And they wanted me to tear it down because they wanted to see the wood on the frame.
And we have building permits. We have building permits.
The only building permit I had, so far was whenever he started working on that front porch. There have been some personal, things going on and it's been kind of slow for him.
We're upstairs.
This is dry.
This is that. Oh, okay. Okay.
Watch it. How long have you owned the house or purchased the house?
It was paid off. What, in July?
I mean, how long have you been the owner of it? Not paid off, that's none of my business, but
I recently got put on the house 6 months ago. My sister owns it technically, but I was just put on the house. And she just recently moved to Florida, so basically I'm the owner.
right.
My sister's on the name first, but
Actually, my name was on it before yours, but
So how long has it been in the family?
ooh,
And when did these, I mean, this is dated 2/17, but this process started well before 2/17.
Yes, sir. Those photos were taken January time, I would say roughly.
And you guys have been in contact since then?
A couple times he was in, what was it, about 2 weeks ago, give or take.
yeah.
Just asking, about the process. So I just had him come here, told him if he had any pictures, bring them.
I mean, no permits have been pulled.
Not since the porch.
I had a permit for the shingles, but I wasn't for sure what to do with it because since it's got a metal frame, I wasn't for sure what, he didn't even know, if, cause he told me to pull all the wood off to see the,
Right.
the frame,
frame.
but apparently the frame is metal.
metal, so I wasn't for sure if I could just slap, siding on it.
So you have a time frame that you would like to get this done?
Fine.
Time.
Do you have a time frame that you would like to get this done in?
Since the weather's starting to become warmer now, I just stepped down from being a manager at Walmart just so I can get this all done. Summertime, I'm gonna spend a lot more time.
Yes, Daniel, and you may or may not have an answer to this, and you know, in the past, inspector has kind of give their opinion, whether or not they feel the structure could be saved or not, or salvaged or not.
And
You don't want to give me that opinion, that's fine, but there again, it's an opinion.
yeah,
Prefer not to.
I prefer not to at this time.
Yeah, I'm worried about the foundation. That's a big problem, and I know that's a big task to take on.
Yeah,
That's something that is especially concerning,
it's a
for me.
non-cinder block house.
right?
I believe it's just plastered on the outside.
You said it's plaster, but it has a concrete floor?
Yeah, it's got like that thick of
I
concrete.
think you said it's a cinder block frame with just plaster on the outside, right? Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying?
Yeah.
So the entire structure is cinder block,
Yeah,
but we don't know structurally without being an engineer or without having an engineer's report on it. I don't know.
I mean, how much time do you think you need to
Get an engineer's report.
get it, to get an engineer's report to verify that it's worth spending money on, and then B, spending money on it to get an occupancy permit?
There's a lot of building codes that
Yeah,
have
we
to be
don't know.
applied.
And then if you're not living in this house, it's gotta be done by a licensed it's gotta be done by a licensed contractor.
I got money for it.
What?
If your plan is to fix it up and then move into it and live in it yourself, then that's a different story. But if you're planning on fixing it up to sell it, then it's gotta be done by a contractor.
Are you planning on fixing it up to live in?
No, I live with my sister and, Holy Falcon.
Okay.
My sister that moved to Florida was living in it.
So your plans are to restore it and sell it?
Most of the reason why we have the house is because there's a garage in the middle
Between the two houses.
between the two houses, and that's a part of that property. And my dad uses the garage.
So what happens if the house is condemned and the garage is on the property of this house?
You can't have an accessory structure on a lot all by itself without the primary structure being present. So the garage would have to come down, or
You can join it.
the adjoint, your property would have to be joined to the property with the garage
Right.
to make it one complete
There's
parcel.
a title.
Which either way was fine. I mean, it would get signed over to me if it was condemned. We just have a problem with if it comes down to that point, how expensive it would be to get rid of that much concrete and stuff. We're struggling.
The house, that was at 1043 Walnut on the next block over, when that one was torn down, that was about $13,000.
And haul off too.
Correct.
I'll go do that. Probably get a loan. If it comes down to it, I could probably get a loan.
Because what will end up happening is if the council does condemn the property and the demolition process doesn't start within the predetermined time frame, then the city would go in and start that process. And then then you get invoiced for that, and then if it doesn't get paid, then we assess it to the taxes.
And, it's me and my sister that owns that property.
Correct.
we would have to sign it over to them.
If you want to, if, you wouldn't have to, but I mean, to do the garage, that's,
Would my sister have to be, present too?
you're both listed as single persons on the deed.
Yeah.
So that's how you both have to transfer it that way.
Okay. Cause she's in Florida.
Yeah.
She might do.
To do it.
Notarized.
Notarized.
Oh,
I know, not the mistake about that. Dick Vasquez could help with that. It's his house before and he knows all that stuff. Actually, his son's house. Yeah,
Have you gotten an estimate of what it would take to?
you know nothing.
not really. I've been doing everything myself. I would buy, I was working all week, so I would buy, cinder blocks about 10 times,
10 at a time.
10 at a time. Go over here, dig some. That's basically all I've been doing. Trying to not hurt my back while at it.
Right.
I don't know, council, I'm trying to speak for everybody, but it sounds like we would, for council to, want to do something different, we would need some sort of engineered report saying it was structurally sound. Is that where you were going with that? Or whoever.
I think, you know, if you're planning on selling it, which it sounds like you would, there are certain things that have to be done.
I will tell you that I had a cinder block out in a fire and we ended up tearing that down because there was gonna be so many challenges it would have taken for us to fix it back up. So we did tear down ours.
But if you wanted to, I'm thinking that if you wanted to get an engineer's opinion on it, that I think we should be able to give them some leeway on that. And that way you can come back and we can see, you know, work with, what the engineer said. Then you guys make a decision on where you want to go from there.
Okay, I have a question. Anybody know some engineers and how much they cost?
$300,000.
Excuse me?
$300,000. If you guys want to get with me, we can get a list of some, if that's you guys.
That'd be fine. That'd be great.
Okay. Just whenever any of you guys have times, feel free. You guys know where my office is, okay? Or just give me a call too. We can do it over the phone. All right, okay?
Okay. Appreciate it.
So
No problem. Thank you.
for our proceedings, do we continue down this? We'll have to get bid. And then time for,
And so what I would suggest is, you know, and Jeff, jump in if you think there would be a better way, but qualify the motion that the resolution 1359 is adopted, move to approve it contingent upon an engineer's report stating, you know, that the house is either structurally or unstructurally sound. And then if it's structurally sound, then we revisit the condemnation. That's a different.
and the stipulations of that then at that point.
Yeah. What kind of time frame are we going to
Right.
talk about in terms of, you know, leeway to fix the house up? So
I would say phrase it in terms of we're passing it, but giving them a time, like a redemption period. If within however much time you decide, they come up with an engineering report that says it's actually sound, then it'll have to come back up for vote again. That's where.
okay.
So
I'll make that.
What's a good timeline?
what's the timeline you're gonna go through?
What's in
The large house. 90 days.
I'd say 60 days would be working. 60 days.
60 days? Do you guys believe in 60 days or 2 months, you could, hire an engineer to give you a report one way or another? Okay.
And then if we don't get an engineer's report saying it's structurally sound, then the condemnation would stand. And then
Right.
we'd move forward with the demolition.
Demolition of the rest of them.
And you wanna hold off until the 60 days to
Yeah.
give them the 30-day notice. Well,
Yeah.
if we don't get it within the redemption period, then we'll start the 30-day notice and that kind of stuff.
Right.
Do you guys understand that?
Mayor, I move we approve resolution 1359 with the stipulation that they have 60 days.
Have we closed this?
Sir, we're in the middle of doing that. This is not the time to speak.
Anything out, and he's trying to.
No, you're right.
This is not the time to speak up. He's in the middle of making a motion.
I absolutely.
You got close it, I didn't.
Oh, we have not closed it.
I got ahead. You did
Okay.
close the hadn't closed
They
it.
corrected me, Dean. Yes, this is
He's right.
still public hearing. I've not
Thank you very much.
closed the hearing.
Hold on, Joe. This is my time to speak.
This is for 1130 Walnut.
This is for 11:30. You guys are high and mighty. You're telling everybody what they gotta do and what they can't do with their property. It's all based on this guy wanting to tear every property down that he can based on whatever facts he can get together. You guys run the city of Osawatomie. You make decisions. Catty corner from this building, the city owns property that is vacant and falling in.
I'm gonna interrupt you.
And-
This is
and I'm
about
gonna tell you-
Walnut, sir.
This is about Walnut.
This is
So
about.
you guys are all high and mighty. You all have, the city of Osawatomie has decrepit property. There's decrepit property all over town. You're displacing people, costing them money. Shame on you, Brett. Shame on you. You need to be fired and ran out of town.
Is there anybody else who would like to make a comment about 1130 Walnut? And I ask for the third time. Is there any comments about 1130 Walnut?
All right.
I'm gonna close the hearing at 6:57.
I can't hear you too good.
I'll try to speak up.
One thing you say, I never heard of you.
Okay, I closed the hearing already.
Now, Mayor, I make a motion to approve resolution 1359 for the condemnation of 1130 Walnut, giving them a 60-day exemption for a engineer study on the property.
Second.
Just,
Thank you.
I need to clarify anything on? Or you got? Okay.
Okay. Yes. Got it.
Okay, we've got a motion by Councilman Shasteen and a second by Councilman Bratton to approve resolution 1359, condemnation of 1130 Walnut, giving the homeowner 2 months to get an engineered report stating whether the structure is sound enough for remodel. Any other questions or comments from council? Mr. Glendenning?
Councilman Shasteen,
Aye.
Councilman Dean,
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson,
Aye.
Councilman Hennis,
Aye.
Councilman Bratton,
All right.
Council Lady Philippin,
Aye.
Council Lady Caldwell.
Motion carries. We'll move on to 820 10th Street. Resolution 1360.
All right. So this trailer, it's been vacant since 2024, losing its conformity.
Starting the hearing at 6:59. Sorry.
Sorry.
That's my fault then.
Okay. So the trailer, it's been vacant since April 2024, losing its conformity. The roof is showing signs of warping, sagging along the north to east side of the trailer. The condition inside is unknown. Skirting showing signs of warping. Holes are starting to show on the skirting as well. It's looking at it from far away, it doesn't look bad, but whenever you stop at that stop sign there and you and you stop and you stare a little bit too long, you'll start noticing how the roof on top has waves going. And then just, little holes along the skirting as well. But again, this is about also it being vacant for more than 6 months. So it has lost its conformity status.
Who's the homeowner?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
According to Miami County, it says, Raul Ortiz Chavez and something else Calderon. I can't read the full name.
Have you had contact with them?
No, nobody has reached out about the
We've sent
property.
letters, we've done all
Yes, sir.
certified, everything.
Yes, sir. Yes. And nobody has reached out, contacted me about the property at all.
Say on there where this person lives.
It says they live nearby at 820. Oh, sorry. They live at 812 10th Street. So maybe just a couple doors down.
One, if not 2 doors down.
I believe they live in the property immediately to the north on 10th Street.
The immediate to the north.
But they haven't reached
That's where
out.
we mailed the letter, right?
Yes. Whatever the address is that's on file with.
Hang on. Brett, do you want me to speak to the non-conformity issue, just so we're clear on the record?
Yes.
That's fine.
There's several reasons why we run properties through these proceedings. One is if they've deteriorated to the level that they're unsafe. Another completely independent reason is if they were previously a legal non-conforming use, which in this case would be a trailer in an area that's not currently zoned for trailers. Those legal non-conforming uses can stay unless they lose their legal non-conforming use under the ordinance. As the officer indicated, the vacancy period of at least 6 months means that a property loses its non-conforming use status. That's one of the easiest way for it to happen. There are other ways. Once the legal non-conforming use status is lost, it cannot be regained. So there's nothing they can do at this point to be a legal non-conforming use, or just a non-conforming use. So under our code, the section that's set out here, we're not asking to demolish the property, but they have to remove it. Just like any other non-conforming use that's no longer legal. So that's for this particular one. The other ones we've talked about that are trailers that have that going on. That's what we talk about in terms of the conformity to the zone. And that's a separate independent grounds, even if the trailer was otherwise pristine and, Taj Mahal, basically.
It wouldn't matter.
Once it lost its legal non-conforming use status, that's gone, can't be gotten back.
And that is 6 months vacant and or 6 months without utilities.
We infer the 6 months vacancy if there's no utilities, because you can't have legal occupancy without it. But we know this one in particular has been vacant, nobody living there. So that's really, it's the residency, somebody living in the property for 6 months. When we don't get any feedback from the folks there, if we can show both it appears to be vacant, no signs of life, and no utilities, then they could be here to rebut it if they want, but absent some rebuttal, that's the inference we're asking you to make.
Right.
To me, it doesn't look that bad, and if somebody was living in it, I think we would.
They would have lost their status as
The
no.
roof is. It is a little crooked, but
I'm with you driving by and looking at all these. When I drove by that one, I thought,
I don't think it looks that bad. We don't know what the inside looks like, but if somebody was living in it, I don't think we'd have, we would probably be having this conversation.
So, this would basically be non-conform because of the non-conformance ordinance. Do we offer them to, or do we state that they need to move it?
They'll have that
Or-
option. They'll have that option to remove it from the community. They can do that by either tearing it down, or they can, you know, pull the skirting up, lift it up, put wheels on it and haul it out of town. Either way is acceptable.
Well, then they have a specific amount of time, just
Correct.
like.
So they will be sent more notification if this passes anyway,
Yeah,
right?
and I believe our zoning regulations stipulate that there's 90 days to make the correction for nonconformity, so.
And
We
again,
couldn't tear it down for 90 days anyway.
we prefer not to have to spend any city money on it. We
Right.
prefer the owner to rectify the issue.
Right. Okay. Got anything else on that one, Daniel?
No, sir.
Yeah.
That is, doesn't matter. That's later.
So I'm gonna ask if there's any public comment on 820 10th Street. Ask a second time for public comment on 820 10th Street. Third and final ask for 820 10th Street. Seeing none, hearing closes at 7:06.
I move that we approve resolution 1360, the condemnation of 820 10th Street.
Second.
Got a motion by Council Lady Philippin, a second by Councilman Bratton to approve resolution 1360, condemnation of 820 10th. Any other questions or comments from council? Mr. Glendinning?
Councilman Chastain?
Aye.
Councilman Dean?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilman Hennis?
Aye.
Councilman Bratton?
Aye.
Council Lady Philippin?
Aye.
Council Lady Colville?
Aye.
Motion carries. We will move on to resolution 1361, condemnation of 510 18th Street, number 1.
So 510 18th Street, this is an occupied, it was an occupied trailer. The resident has moved out as of,
7.
sorry,
No, it's, we keep heat free.
my bad. I'll get it down better.
You do it by me.
All right. So as of actually, the owner of the trailer has since vacated the property as of 3/5/2026. He stated to me that he has moved to a residency on 12th Street. So some of the problems with this trailer is, there's a door that is completely destroyed. There's sections of skirting missing. Trash is piled up underneath the property. Trash is piled up on the inside of the house. If you look at the front of the house, the bottom of the door, of the front door, has a section cut out exposing the inside of the trailer to the weather. And again, sections of skirting missing on multiple areas of the house. There's the dilapidation of the trailer shows in the picture, along with how little to no upkeep of the structure. Overall cleanliness, as well as statements from the police department who've been in there of the property being dangerously infested with bed bugs. Broken windows, trash scattered along the side and underneath the structure itself. The property hasn't had water since December of 2025 due to the condition of the property's pipes having problems of severe leaking. So that's some of the conditions.
So it has been vacant for a
he's
week.
back now? Okay. Okay, so, codes officer has informed me that he is back in the house now.
As of this weekend, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Next day.
Is it just one person living?
Yeah, it's just one person living in there.
This is a separate issue. This is due to the dilapidation of the structure. Due to the nonconformity. I'll ask if there are any public comments for 510 18th Street, number 1. Ask a second time for public comments on 510 18th Street, number 1. And a third and final time for public comments on 510 18th Street, number 1. Council, is there any more questions we have for Daniel or Brett on this one before I close this hearing?
So whoever moved back in is well aware that this is up for a hearing.
He has received his letter, yes.
Yes. Okay. I just wanted to reiterate that.
And the owner of the trailer.
He's the owner of the trailer.
And the code says dangerous, unsafe, or unfit for human occupancy. And I think probably the more operative, well, they're all three germane to the question, but I think right now probably the worst one is the third one, is its fitness for human occupancy.
If there was a fire in it, could he get out?
It would be rough for me to say. Just the structure alone itself. I mean, and all the trash, everything inside, it would go, in my opinion, it would go up pretty quick. And I don't want to speak for my codes officer, but she has been also in contact with the gentleman who owns the property. She has been giving him places out in town, for him to move to as well. So he has been actively trying to find another place before he moved into the house on 12th Street.
Do we know why that came or fell through, why moving out and then came back? Do we know what the reason was for leaving 12th Street?
He had permission of the homeowner, and the homeowner is
Deceased.
Passed away.
since deceased, so the family told him.
Okay.
Is that 90 days?
What? 90 days.
90 days. Okay.
But I would argue that the lawful non-conforming status would still be in effect because it hasn't been vacated for 6 months.
Yeah.
So we're strictly talking in these last 3 about the dangerous, unsafe, or unfit for human occupancy. Those are the only things that will be under consideration for these 3 occupied trailers. They are all still lawfully non-conforming structures. I want to emphasize that.
Sir, I've already asked the third, but I've seen you raise your hand up. Was there something you had about this property?
Yeah, for what happened to the guy's living conditions. I was gonna say that the lady passed.
Right. Okay. So I will close this hearing at 7:14.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 1361, condemnation of 510 18th Street, number 1.
Second. Got a motion by Councilman Hennis, a second by Councilman Shasteen to approve resolution 1361, 510 18th Street, number 1.
Councilman Shasteen.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Hennis.
Aye.
Councilman Bratton.
Aye.
Council Lady Philippin.
Aye.
Council Lady Caldwell.
Motion carries. We'll move on to 510 18th Street, number 2, resolution 1362.
Aye.
7:15. Thank you.
Again, this property, like the previous trailer, shows it has a lot of the same issues. Little to no maintenance. There's vegetation overgrowth, scattered across the west side of the property. There's broken windows, unknown condition of the inside. The roof's showing separation from the membrane of the trailer, as well as holes throughout the skirting. There's siding that is separating. If you look at this picture, you can see in the top left corner of that trailer, the siding underneath is actually separating from the trailer as well. The property's showing its age. Back door looks like it's been rigged not to be open, leaving an egress exit unable to be used. These structures, they're owned by different. Sorry, that was just a repeat that I hadn't taken out. It's my bad.
So look at these, is it actually growing into
Yes,
the
sir.
house, the tree, the vegetation?
Yes, sir.
Inside the building at all.
Not inside, but inside of the siding on that trailer.
So this one's still occupied as well.
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything else you'd like to share on this one, Dana?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'll ask if there's public comment over 510 18th, number 2.
I would like to know if you guys gonna give us a chance to work on it and fix them.
There is an option to fix the trailer, but everything has to be fixed. Absolutely everything. And it's gotta be done according to permit. You gotta pull a permit and it's all gotta be done according to the building code.
Okay. How long do I have?
90 days according to, well, I would say probably whatever the council wants to
Right.
do. If they want to give
In,
you,
in the past, what we've done for structures that were going to be, that have been condemned, but they were, wanting to fix them up was, I believe we gave them 6 months. There were some stipulations on them leading up to it. The taxes had to be paid up. But since the owner of the land is separate from the owner of the building structure, that
Yeah.
probably doesn't
I,
apply here,
yeah, the personal property taxes
are paid by the landowner,
they'd be paid by the owner of the personal property.
the personal property on the trailer itself, not in the land.
Correct.
So I believe there was permit pulled in a certain amount of time and then completion in a certain amount of time. And then the fear that we've had in trailers that we've condemned in the past of this age is what would it take to get it to current building code? Is the trailer even possible to get it to that code on framing requirements? Just all the requirements that are now current code. I don't know what year this trailer is.
85, I think.
Right, the spacing of framing, the spacing of roof, trusses, floor joists, all of the things that were maybe different coded back in 84, 85, whenever the trailer was versus now. So them are the things that have come up in the past when we've talked about, condemned trailers that somebody's wanted to try and rehab. Does any of that, there again, I don't know. Them folks over there would need a structural engineer to tell us whether that thing's even salvageable or not. I don't know that you get a structural engineer on a mobile home. No. And I don't know our code, I'm not a carpenter, or a
Plumber or electrician.
right. What are the new codes that state where they have to be But that's what we've done in the past. Is that something you'd be interested in trying?
Yes,
to do?
sir. They grandfathered in. Usually they're grandfathered in, but I don't.
Not once they become a condemned property.
I
Right?
mean, like what he kind of stated, you're good. There's mostly a lot of cosmetic stuff, but obviously seeing inside pocket.
Right, but I think once the condemnation starts, the whole structure comes into play, not just necessarily that the cosmetic
I mean,
issues
what
that.
was stated by him, just,
Right.
I mean, siding, separating, cosmetic, does it look ugly? Sure. Structural doesn't do a whole lot, you know?
But that's what this would begin. They would have to make sure structurally it is.
Everything is sound. There's no.
Then you guys have to go and check it.
That's why I said there needs to be a building permit pulled.
Okay, okay.
So that's what's been done in the past, you know, so.
Also, real quick, sorry. Standard of living conditions, is that wrote down somewhere for everybody kind of, I mean, obviously standards all across the world are different than what we would have and even different states.
I don't believe it's defined in city code what unfit for human occupancy means.
That left up to
the judgment of the code.
I think if it's a rental, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a real,
But if it's a owned property, it's not.
Yeah, but it's an owned property, correct?
But if it's a rental, it is.
You have defined it as a rental property, yes.
But it's not yours isn't a rental, yours.
No, I owned it outright.
You own it outright and you rent the ground that it's on. Right?
Yes.
Play a lot of it.
Well, since we got to this point, we have to upgrade the electric, the plumbing, everything. But I think it's even 2x6 walls on the exterior walls.
I don't know what the code states, but it may, I'm sure you can build not 2x4s, they're building 2x4s on these stick built structures. But
It's gonna be pricey.
you don't have anywhere you can move it to, do you?
No, how long are you gonna give me to find a place to move it to?
90 days. That's what we was talking about. With the last one, was the 90-day. If this went into effect, you'd have 90 days to remove the property or demo it yourself. Where we wouldn't do it, the city wouldn't do it and then bill you for it at that point. If it's past the 90 days.
Well, I guess I'll try and move it. And if I,
Condemn it, give it a 90-day.
Well, if we condemn it, it gets the 90-day thing.
Windows,
Right. It's whether or not you want to try and rebuild it.
well, I'd like
in
to
a
try and rebuild it,
6 months.
but it's gonna take longer than 6 months because I'm gonna have to do it myself because I can't afford anybody.
Once you get into it, what happens if you get into it and you realize that the structure itself has gotten beyond the point where it can be repaired?
And then I'll tear it down.
Okay. I guess it would be up to you. I mean, if you want to ask the council for additional time, then that would be up to them to give you additional time. I mean, the resolution, I think, stipulates 2 weeks, and then we just did 90 days, 60 days plus 30 days on the 11/30.
For them to get an engineer.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to the council.
So if we did a 60 days for you to make the assessment, whether or not you want to try and salvage, pull a permit and want to salvage, you think the house can be salvaged?
I think it can, honestly.
You could make that determination in the next 60 days, you think?
Yeah.
And at that point, you pull the permit and then we talk about the time frame that you need to complete the remodel of the house.
Okay.
And does that sound, all that sounds doable?
Yeah.
On the time frame, if in the next 60 days, you feel like it's what you want to do and rebuild it, then we have to decide the time frame that we give you to to do that. So, and like you said, 6 months is probably enough. So we need to,
6 months isn't enough.
you know what you said?
Yeah, 6 months wouldn't be enough.
Wouldn't be enough time for him to rebuild it himself.
Now, we could do like a review in 6 months after I got
See if
started.
progress hasn't been made in
Yes,
timeframe.
yes.
Start buttoning up, you know, start on the outside, getting it all buttoned up and secured and, you know. There again, this is council decision. But
That's exactly what I would have said if I was saying it. So.
Let's start with 60 days and go from there.
Okay, so we probably ought to finish the hearing before we start making motions this time. So I think we're good where we're gonna be. We've got to get through the hearing and then we can make the motions.
Okay.
So is there anybody else that would like to speak about 510 18th Street, number 2? I'll ask the third and final time for public comment on 510 18th Street, number 2. Seeing that there is none, we'll entertain a motion.
Close the hearing.
Close the hearing at my computer. Shut. 7:26. Dale, do you have the wording you were thinking?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
So we go ahead and condemn it for 60 days and revisit it after 60 days?
I just, a similar motion to what we did with 1130, right, Jeff?
Yes.
Right. You want me to make it for you there? Mayor, I move we, approve resolution 1362 with the condemnation of 510 18th number 2. With the deal of 60 days, come to us with the determination of whether he believes it can be saved. And then if it can be, at that point, we will meet to have what he believes, full permit and determine a completion timeline. That'd be the way I want to say.
Question, am I gonna have to hire an engineer or?
I don't know that an engineer's gonna.
That's where I was at. I think on a structure like that, the codes.
We'll
follow the codes on it.
Control what you can and can't do at that point.
On
The
the
other one was
concrete.
concrete and steel, that gets a little different out of normal residential.
It's real estate.
Yeah.
Personal property.
Yeah.
It's a fixed.
Work with Daniel,
Right, right.
that would be.
So did that make sense?
It would probably be the grandfather in code. They're like the.
Yeah. Well, it's not so much grandfather, it's still a code for it, it's just they'd have to come up to the current code for that structure.
Current code that this whole city is under. We've got a motion.
Second.
Got a second. So we got a motion by Councilman Shastine, a second by Councilman Hennis to approve resolution 1362 for 510 18th Street number 2. It would give the homeowner 60 days to determine whether they wanted to try and salvage the home or move the home. And at that point, we would work with Daniel and council to give a timeline on the rebuild of the home, if that's what he determines we want to do. Any other questions or comments from council?
Who seconded that?
There. No. Mr. Glendenning?
Councilman Shastine,
Aye.
Councilman Dean,
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson,
Aye.
Councilman Hennis,
Aye.
Councilman Bratton,
Aye.
Council Lady Philippin,
Aye.
Council Lady Caldwell.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll move on to resolution 1363, condemnation of 610 18th Street, number 8.
Okay, so again, this, oh, sorry.
Nope, you're good. Open the hearing at 7:30.
I got one question. Do I come back to the council meeting?
You'll deal with Daniel first. Yep, you'll deal with Daniel first within the next 60 days. To let him know whether or not you're trying to rebuild or move it, and then at that point, we can address the next steps from there.
Okay.
Okay?
And if you need any more clarification later on, just please get with me, okay?
Okay.
We'll iron everything
Do
out.
you have a card with you?
If you want to stop by tomorrow morning, I can grab one for you,
I'll be out of here, going to work early.
Okay, thank you. She'll grab one.
All right, 610, number 8.
Okay, so this one is also an occupied trailer. I have not been inside the property, so I am unaware of the condition on the inside, as well as upkeep of it. Listed below are some of my observations of the property. There seems to be an HVAC unit, I could be wrong, that seems to be non-functional, possible reasons for the window units propped up in the windows. The back door looks to be non-functional with some type of self-done way to make sure the door cannot be opened from the outside or inside. No, this is different property. This is 610, number 8.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. The siding is showing signs of some sort of moss growing on the north face of the trailer. That is, yeah, okay. I already said that, sorry, north face of the trailer, so. There hasn't been much activity at this property, besides a letter from our nuisance officer, but that was just on a different subject matter. And that's all I have for this property.
Okay. So, any questions for Daniel from the council right now? Come back to it. Sir, is this your property here that you would like to talk about? So we'll ask for public comment on this property.
My name is Ruben Stevenson. I've lived there, since 2011, December. And, off the bat, we got some issues with the water deed in score. There were some leaks in some other trailers. I guess number 1, I don't know about number 2, but, there was, some water leaks, and then they shut the water down, and there's only 1 meter there that works all the trailers. I know I'm further away from all the rest of them. And they did not hook my water back up. This was deeded for Stan Graves, I believe. That we all know there's statutes against that. You know, I don't know if we had the proper paperwork to even disconnect me. You know, I don't know if there is, you know, should have been, but so I've been without water since that date. And
How long ago was that?
it was
December time, was it, sir?
22nd.
Number
I
22nd.
believe that was.
Water.
Okay.
And I really don't know the reasons for that being, but. So, yeah, I mean, admitting to not having no water, and it's kind of rough going fridge and stuff, taking showers and stuff and everything, but, some of the other reasons that, I mean, moss can be cleaned off the outside, you know, things like that. I really don't know why. I believe my trailer probably is an 87. It's structurally sound.
Has either Dean or Stan gave you any, have you been able to discuss with them?
Well,
why
I
they
talked
turned
with Stan and Dean both, but, you know, they said that the water line, he wasn't, because water line going over to my trailer and all the others that were there in the past, you know, 1 meter feeds all the trailers. And, he wasn't sure about all the leaks going down through there. Well, I know my trailer does not leak.
Right.
And there has been water leaks before out in the yard, and I fixed them myself. But I don't understand why.
So they made the determination not to turn your trailer back on.
Exactly.
Now, I see on, it looks like the back side of the property. You know, that there's some cleanup that could happen, right?
Yes.
I mean, but as far as the rest of it, does not appear to be in the shape that the other 2 that or 3, however many trailers we've looked at tonight.
I believe it's much more sound than the others. I'm not for sure.
Without being in it.
Do you own
Do you own
I own it outright, yes.
Okay.
I bought it. So
That's what, so think situation, you own it and you're renting the land on it, under it.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm just not seeing. How do you get into the trailer?
It's kind of backwards. You go on the other side is the front of it.
I don't see any steps to any of the doors.
Well, and
Is that the structure there behind, back over here?
excuse me.
Oh, yeah, okay, it's under a roof, is it over here? That's the entry over here.
That's the porch right there.
Okay.
That's the gate.
Okay. So we're seeing the backside basically, we're not seeing the front.
Right, oh, okay.
I see, yeah.
And at one time, there was other trailers going towards the street, you know, like that. I don't know if there's a sufficient eminent domain here or what, I'm not sure.
Daniel, anything you've mentioned on here, do you see them as the three things you talked about?
Our account is with, the owner of the land.
Right.
So why you would not have water, I don't understand.
Yeah, there's codes against that, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, I remember your wife called me and I told her to get in touch.
Can we have a date that was shut off?
Stan.
Yeah.
I believe December 2nd.
December 27th.
And I didn't know about the last, Chelsea, we get it, it was discussing the trailers, but.
Karen, how do you get heat? I see that there's a blank gas line where the meter used to be.
I'm all electric and then I also have a wood burner outside on the porch.
Okay,
It's an exterior burner.
Right.
I see it.
Definitely.
Smokestack.
Yeah, it definitely, when it's working, you got to open the front door. It gets really warm.
Now, I see, that's what I was getting at. We don't have the look of the life safety, open separation of.
Without water.
Without water.
Yeah, without water, there's a sanitation issue.
Right.
This is the first time I'm learning that you don't have water in that trailer.
But that is not his.
I
to me.
knew back in December, and whenever I spoke with your wife, but I didn't know what the result was because that was a civil matter between.
It still is.
The property owner, you and the contractor.
Right.
So,
We've had a lot of differences today.
well, lack of water concerns me a lot. That's a big.
Mine too, yeah.
Right.
I concern
That's a
you.
big deal.
Right. I guess in this case, we have the authority to tell the home or the landowner he has to put the water line back to him. I mean, that's
Have that conversation with Stan.
right. But that's an issue between Stan that's between landowner and homeowner.
Yeah, and I don't have any way to get Mr. Stevenson water because he doesn't have access to public
Well, he
rights.
doesn't own the property.
And he doesn't own the property.
So have you been living there without water?
Versus the street without water, yeah.
Right.
And that's where I'm at. If it's condemned, that's where I'm at, is on these streets.
Have you looked to see if there's somewhere you could move it?
Well, I was under the understanding if the trailer house is over 10 years old, that the city would not allow it to be moved on their street. That I had to tear it down, is what I was
I don't
told.
think
No,
we'd work that out.
no,
Okay, so I'm moving it now. That's
You
saying,
can't move it to another property in the community. It would have to be moved outside of the community.
but nobody can guarantee me that, I'll have to get it coded, as far as electricity goes. I hear him commenting on that a lot. I'll have to have it updated on electricity, et cetera, et cetera.
That's if it's condemned, sir.
And at this point, we're not condemned.
Not yet, we're not. We haven't.
Okay, thank you.
At the end of that's where we're moving towards. So but this is not something we're aware of until you just came to
Okay,
speak.
okay. Sometimes the page is shut up, right? But anyway.
Not in your case.
So you're saying as long as it's not condemned, then I can go to another county or another spot in the county and
Right.
you don't.
Even, we could still condemn it, and your option is always going to be to move it outside of the community to a place where you could or tear it down. That option is always going to be your option as the owner of that personal property.
Now, I'm not sure, and I don't think anybody here can tell you zoning and
No,
regulations of the
absolutely.
county or
I
other
mean, you're not
communities
speaking for
around.
anybody else, I understand that. Or
Right,
any other county or any other.
right. I don't know, you know, where it allows it.
a permit to get to that out of town if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, but there's no holdup from us allowing you to move it out. of
I
town.
understand that.
There is that issue about the water.
Well, we haven't forgot about that, I haven't.
I imagine you have.
Right.
I think that's
Right now,
something
I'm
that
hauling water, you know, you got to have something.
we need to,
Well, I think looking at it, what we did for the last gentleman, my opinion, if he has water there, would we be talking about condemning his house?
exactly.
We don't have all the pictures that we had of the last ones or all the trailers that we've seen tonight. There may be some nuisance issues about cleaning up or straightening this up or that up, but
The only issue that I did have was a vehicle, derelict vehicle that needs to be, I removed it properly.
right. I don't see broken windows and roof sagging and roof separating and siding separating,
I think it's a matter we need to,
but no water's a life safety thing.
I understand that.
Now,
get that,
very good.
where that goes.
That's between the landowner, the contractor that turned it off and you. That's, I mean, but if we know that you don't have water for a period of time, well, then it becomes a life safety issue for us.
And I totally agree,
So is the city,
as it should.
Right.
I'm not disputing that.
the city,
I would defer to Jeff to verify, but I'm not aware that we can force Stan to make water available to that trailer.
Yeah, I'm not sure we can do that either. We could, you know, look and see if there's an action against the property owner if they're not providing water to all of the tenants. But yes, I don't think we're going to just order them to do it.
Would we not have, do we not have standards in that, in our rental, contract that we have with the landlords?
Public. We have to do it.
I believe the statutes right here.
In that, don't we have, isn't that in our landlord agreements, that I can't think of it.
The healthy home, the healthy home.
I think
No, I don't
we cite him for failure to provide the water to bring him up on, before the judge or something on that. But the problem is gonna be the easy solution is finding an amount of money, but that doesn't solve the problem. This guy's got
right.
his water. We're gonna have to look a little bit, see if there's a way for us to, you know, hold him in contempt or something at the municipal court. Get her, I'm sure she'll do a good job cleaning on him. Just don't know what authority we have to simply order the private provision of water. I need to look at that and see.
But he doesn't pay us for the water. It's part of his rent. So it's.
Is he still collecting lot rent?
The landlord is not.
Not since the water's been shut off.
He hasn't been?
No, I haven't been paying him. Since the water got shut off,
Right.
What's the mobile home park in that act?
I'd say let's decide to move it. Whatever we can do.
Or the same, you know, or try and get Stan to providing, I mean, what, so the only utility we provide that we can actually condemn for not having is water, correct?
and he knew that.
Huh?
Mr. Stevenson has an electrical account.
Right, he has electrical, right.
That's a different critter, because he's not paying.
And you say Stan knows that? Judge said Stan knows that?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
I think this is a whole different, ballgame than condemnation.
Right.
But I'm not sure how to solve it unless we were just to give him a time frame to be able to work with his landlord and and the city work with the landlord to see if we can help push that along. Maybe a decision would be made by the landlord.
I mean, my struggle is other than guilting the landowner into giving him water, I don't really have a way, to my knowledge, of forcing someone to sell water. Because that's basically what he's doing is he's buying water from us and then reselling it.
Right.
It's no different than the rural water district number 3 shutting someone's utility off in the county for non-payment of their water bill.
We don't have a way to force him to supply the water, but he's using that to be able to remove that trailer.
What it sounds like.
You'd asked earlier about adjournment and other timelines. I looked it up when you were asking that. And if we wanted to adjourn this hearing to a later date, we don't have to renotice that new, because you're not adjourning it finally. You're saying you're adjourning it or postponing it, taking a break in it, an intermission until a date certain. And that might allow us to
Contact the landowner.
investigate the issues with regards to if there's a way to force him to get water to the gentleman, because you're right, this is one where it doesn't appear that the trailer by itself, nothing he's done necessarily, that's the issue, it's the landlord. And do we want the landlord to let the city act as, if he's trying to get rid of him, do we want to be played that way, I guess is the way to put it.
Exactly.
The landowner really needs to go through an eviction process.
Exactly.
That's laid out in the Landlord Tenant Act or the Mobile Home Park.
Yeah, that's all right now. But yeah, I would.
But if he's making that choice, we're not. And this kind of went back to the very first conversation when we talked about it. Are we doing stand grade bidding?
So it might be wise for this resolution then to just, adjourn the hearing.
Correct.
To a later date and then qualify it that we notify Mr. Stevenson of when we're going to pick that hearing back up, and then also give Mr. Stevenson a 60-day time frame to notify us of other options for the trailer to be moved to outside of the community, and or get resolution with the landowner, Mr. Gray, to restart the provision of water to your trailer.
And then we could contact Mr. Gray and ask him of his intentions of the water to this property.
And then I'll advise Mr. Gray that the hearing's been postponed indefinitely to a later date, and advise Mr. Gray that he needs to go through the proper channels, which would be district court, not a municipal condemnation hearing.
Good.
So the council here have a problem with me getting a permit moving if I choose.
No. It sounds like to me with the landowner you have, if you could find a place to take your trailer to, you'd be better off. I mean, that's my opinion. That he's not.
Doesn't sound like he's looking out for you.
He's had 3 months to get you water back to your.
And what about, I know you unable to speak for the county, but I just want to know what your opinion would be with the county giving permits to move it down the road.
There's places in the county, right?
Well, what he's saying is
the
actual moving. I don't want to speak to what it takes to get
I just wanted an opinion.
No, yeah.
The only heavy haul or, oversized load haul I was involved in took the governor signing for the.
So that's a little different.
Trailer house, I don't know. It fits in the roadway. I don't know that you need it.
No, it's not heavy.
If those things could be moved, not too much trouble, it's just a matter of, especially.
Like working a semi down the road, wouldn't it?
We need,
Yeah.
we would
I
need
found
to
it
get,
easier to work with you people.
Well, we'd like to work on that thing.
yeah.
Right. Okay. So we don't need a motion. We don't need it.
Yeah, we'll need a motion to suspend, to
Table it.
suspend it, yeah.
Suspend
The hearing until a
But once
later date.
you,
later date.
So we don't need to close it.
so we don't want to close the hearing. So Mayor, I move we make a motion to suspend this hearing until a date that we can set up with Mr. Stevenson on the water issue and or potentially moving of the trailer.
I don't think you have to set the date to do that because it's on the record what we're doing here and we don't know how much time it's gonna take. So,
But I think we can get the ball rolling to find a new place to fix trailers.
we will have to make sure to give him adequate notice of the new date. And
That would be nice.
I second it.
Doesn't mean say, do we need to put in there and I guess in that motion, it's better to amend my motion to say
to allow Mr. Stevens a 60-day notice of the next, when we resume the hearing. There's what I want to.
And we're gonna work with him in the interim, so.
We're gonna give you at least 60 days heads up for when the next hearing would be.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Do you amend your second?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got a motion by Councilman Chastain, a second by Councilman Bratton to suspend the hearing for resolution 1363 at 610 18th Street, number 8, to a later date, which we will give Mr. Stevenson a 60-day notice of when that hearing will be. Any other questions or comments from council on that? Mr. City Manager?
Councilman Chastain?
Aye.
Councilman Dean?
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson?
Aye.
Councilman Dennis?
Aye.
Councilman Bratton?
Aye.
Council Lady Philippin?
Aye.
Council Lady Caldwell?
Aye.
Motion carries. So with 1019 being demolished, we don't need to do anything with that, right? Okay, so we're gonna move on to presentation of proclamation of appointments. We have none. No unfinished business, so we'll move on to new business. Resolution 1364, authorizing the execution of fire service agreement with Osawatomie State Hospital.
Give me one second. So since Brent is filling in for Tammy, as city clerk, I'll fill in for Brent. I don't have a whole lot to talk about on, the fire services agreement, and since Brent is here, if you guys have questions on it, he can answer.
Does anybody still have any of Mr. Carhoff's paperwork? Okay, so I don't believe so.
No.
All right,
I'm not done.
on to our business.
You hear from me for a minute. I'm not wrong. We did.
Hey, Joe, Ms. Carhoff, we're trying to carry on our meeting. Thank you.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before. Wasn't no action item, so it's $1,000 per every call. And then the firefighters get paid the same.
Firefighters get
They
paid the
get paid
same.
the same on their
Correct.
call outs.
Basically, as running the call, we're just gonna charge the state hospital or the state 1,000 per call. They've agreed to this contract, I'm guessing.
Correct. It's been back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then Councilman Dickinson pointed out and our city attorney pointed out that there was still some fragments from a copy paste operation from the Larned State Hospital. A lot of that's already been cleaned up. It'll all get cleaned up before the contract actually gets signed with the state. But the state is good with this language as it is, and the concept with it starting on the beginning of the state fiscal year, which is July 1 and running through June 30. There's an option to review the contract price on an annual basis and bump it up in the event that, say, the city or the county. We should typically try to do that in tandem with one another to keep the firefighters' pay the same when they're responding for rural fire versus in-town calls. Can't think of anything. It's basically putting into contract into writing the practice that we're doing right now.
We're already charging.
We've been doing it for a year, almost a year now.
I was gonna say, okay.
Yeah, May of 2025 was when we first started this.
They just don't want to start the official contract till.
It's been back and
easier
forth.
this way.
It's been back and forth, and I've been trying to get them to agree to also pay us for when our police officers have to respond, because we respond up there on average every other day. And sometimes more than once per day. But that's obviously not going
And
to be.
these are all things that they used to cover before they made cuts, right?
It was determined as part of, I believe, the legislative post audit,
One of them, yeah.
revealed, there were some training issues with the volunteer firefighters that the state hospital was maintaining a volunteer fire department. And instead of trying to bring all of that up to current standard, they dissolved their fire department and relied on us. They did something very similar at Larned. The Larned State Hospital is not within the city limits of Larned. So that was a completely different situation, and Larned was able to get compensated I would say considerably more than what Osawatomie is, because it's already inside city limits. But they did agree that there was a cost there to providing the service, and that as a state entity, they don't pay property taxes, and the rest of us do. So those of us that are paying those taxes are subsidizing the state hospital. And there's been months, I think, we just had our first one for March. We invoiced them 4 times in February. And I think there was one month in the summer of last year, we invoiced them like 6 or 7 times.
That's for fire service?
For fire, for per call, yeah.
Other than calling it.
Mayor, I move we approve resolution 1364 authorizing execution of fire service agreement with Osawatomie State Hospital.
Second. Got a motion by Councilman Bratton, a second by Council Lady Philpin to approve resolution 1364 authorizing execution of fire service agreement with OSH. Any other questions or comments from council? Mr. City Manager?
Councilman Shasteen.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Hennis.
Aye.
Councilman Bratton.
Aye.
Council Lady Philpin. Council Lady Caldwell.
Motion carries. We'll move on to resolution 1365, authorizing the closure of the 500 block of Main for the Alumni Street Dance.
This is a resolution that authorized temporary closing of the street to allow the consumption of alcoholic beverages.
You have that fenced off?
Yeah. Yeah, the alumni always fences it off very well.
Mr. Mayor, I move we approve 1365, authorizing closure of 500 block of Main Street for the Alumni Street Dance.
I have one question. If it rains that area out, it comes in here?
Correct.
So do we need to vote on this being an alcohol?
No, because this is already an approved location. We only have to do that because the street's not considered an approved location. We have to have a resolution to make it such.
Correct.
That's it.
Okay, you first, right?
I'll second. I don't know. I mean.
You made the motion that you were trying to second.
No, I was asking.
Okay. We've got a motion by Council Lady Philpin and a second by Councilman Hennis to approve resolution 1365, authorizing the closure and consumption on 500 block of Main Street for the Alumni Street Dance. Any other questions or comments from council? Mr. City Manager?
Councilman Shasteen.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Hennis.
Aye.
Councilman Bratton.
Aye.
Council Lady Philpin.
Aye.
Council Lady Caldwell.
Motion carries. We'll move on to item C, resolution 1366, authorizing the closure of the city lake roads for lights on the lake.
Same thing, different place, for the same
All the
reason,
way around.
all the way around.
How do they get in?
Lights on the Lake sets up entrance points, but yeah, they have it blocked off to keep people from accessing the areas that are for alcoholic consumption.
Hey,
And yes, they can still get to the golf course. They set it up.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
set it
why.
up where.
that might cause you problems if you don't want that. Mayor, I move we approve resolution 1366, also authorizing closing of the city lake for lights of the lake.
Got a motion by Councilman Bratton and a second by Councilman Shasteen to approve resolution 1366, authorizing closure of city lake roads for lights on the lake. Any other questions or comments from council? Mr. Clerk?
Councilman Shasteen.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Hennis.
Aye.
Councilman Bratton.
Aye.
Council Lady Philpin.
Aye.
Council Lady Caldwell.
Motion carries. We'll move on to resolution 1367, waiving the building permit fees for USD 366 construction project.
Current Superintendent Greg Clark reached out to us, last week requesting that the building permit fees for the current bond project, be waived.
Okay. Estimates about 40 grand, between 30 and $40,000. Not all of the work is permitted work. But the work that is permitted was going to cost, upwards of 40 grand. So,
Right.
Question.
Will there be some of this that will need to be inspected by outside of our staff?
Some of it will need to be inspected by, because of its occupancy, will need to be inspected by others.
Right.
We're just waiving the permit fees. We're not waiving the inspection.
We're not, okay, so it's only permits, not inspection.
Correct. They will still have to
Will
get,
we still charge for the inspections that we do then?
that's all captured in the permit fee. So we'll be providing that that inspection service at no cost.
So the city will do the inspections, but if we have to pay outside source through
The school will have to do that.
school, just get clarification.
I thought his money's coming from the same spot.
Most of the same spot. Yeah. The school board tax is a much larger base than the city. So I think it's fair to our people if the school board pays for the costs that we incur for paying outside. Now, sending our own person to do inspections is one thing, but if we have to cut a check to, I can't remember the name of the company that we contract with. But it could be, that's a big project.
Lloyd Builders.
Our inspection company, do we still have that
Oh,
contract?
IBTS. Yeah.
IBTS?
Yes.
So they have to pay for that fee, if we have to have them come in.
If we had to have that happen, yes, we would turn around and
We
we
need
would
to put
invoice
that in
the
our
school.
motion.
I'll say superintendent know that.
I'm not aware that there'd be anything that we would contact IBTS for.
That's what I was getting at, is everything at this project, the HVAC, the roofing, all these things that will need to be permitted, are we qualified to inspect?
Some of it, the state's fire marshal would end up probably doing.
Okay.
That's the kind of stuff that we would not do. Because the fire marshal has to review
I
some.
think we need to
has
put a
to-
kicker on it, if we have outside inspections, the school's responsible for that deal.
Yeah, Ansel systems in the lab, them things, I know the fire marshal will inspect.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if the fire marshal would inspect the roofing that's put on, you know, and maybe we can handle that. I don't know.
We can do that.
Okay.
Um,
Or all this large scale HVAC and
the gas pressure test, I mean, that's hooking up a gauge and
Right.
seeing that it will, yeah, it goes right in this test, so.
Mayor, I move we approve resolution 1367, waiving building permit fees for USD 367 construction project.
I'd like to include a clause, if there's any outside inspections, the school district would be responsible for that fee.
Also amended to.
Bring that in. Okay.
so I have a motion by Councilman Shasteen, a second by Councilman Bratton to approve resolution 1367, waiving the building permit fees for USD 367 construction project with the exception of outside source needed inspections that they would cover the cost of that. Any other questions or comments from council? Mr. Glendenny?
Councilman Shasteen.
Aye.
Councilman Dean.
Aye.
Councilman Dickinson.
Aye.
Councilman Hennis.
Aye.
Councilman Bratton.
Aye.
Council Lady Phillips.
Nay.
Council Lady Caldwell.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll move on to council reports. I will start to my left. Councilman Shasteen.
Nothing to report.
Yeah.
I did something, I can't remember what it is now, so who's going?
Okay. Councilman Hennis.
No report.
Councilman Bratton.
Just like to remember a few families that have, had several or tremendous loss this week in our town. I think we ought to keep them in our prayers.
I think down at, Third and where the apartments are, they cleaned out a channel for water down there and it is flowing much nicer and once they get it done, it'll be looking really nice down there. Wanted to shout out that came at a great time. It did. Because we got some big rain. And that's all I have.
Okay. I received my email from Mrs. Stoutrine about the scholarship. And so there's a couple that would like to make that selection. And honestly, my daughter is not up for that scholarship, I do not believe, but she's graduating this year. So if somebody else would like to present that this year and I can just kind of hang out with her and the family, that would be great.
So we can cover that.
Yeah, we can cover you there.
Somebody will.
Okay, somebody will cover that. Be there.
Yeah.
Is there somebody that hasn't done it that would like to be a part of the selection committee?
I've done this one or Pride.
Oh, have you
I
been
think
on
I've
part
done
of it?
Pride.
I've never done one for the school.
Would you like?
I would do it.
Yeah, we'll
No problem.
Everybody's cool with that? I don't know how many you want. I'm staying completely out of it this year because I know most of these young people.
We'll black out the names here.
Well, you probably ought to know the name.
Like when you're, before you're signed, then.
Oh, no,
I don't.
what I'm gonna do is forward the email to whoever we choose to do that, and then it's your baby at that point.
How many do you need to do this?
Well, I normally get in there, so would three of you like to do it? I got these two.
Kathy would like to do it.
Kathy would like to do it. You cool with that, Lawrence? Everybody good?
Speaking up, she would like.
All right, so I will send that to, Council Lady Caldwell, Councilman Bratton, and Councilman Ennis. Like that. So that's all I believe I have for a report. So we'll move on to staff reports.
The only two things I have is the auditor mailed a draft day. Anyway, no, it was Monday, whatever day it was. I took pictures and sent those off to Sam. I imagine it'll be in the newsletter this week.
They're doing a lot of work and making a lot of noise.
That one morning, I did get a phone call from Mr. Newport, and it was the only morning that they were actually dumping out that concrete into the bottom of the dumpster, and it was a little on the early side.
It's correct.
Yes, so apologies to the neighbors who had to deal with that.
Third installment doesn't include, we haven't assumed it into the work that's being done currently. Or have we assumed?
I guess I'm not following you. We've raised $200,000.
Right.
The cost of the work that Lloyd Builders is performing is $194,000.
Right.
So we're at 6,000 in the good.
But then this one we just covered is another 100,000 from Hawkins, or is it 50,000?
It was 50,000, and that's included in the 200.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. It's not 250, it's 200.
Yeah, I didn't know where.
Yeah. That is all I have. I think Michelle has something she wants to talk about.
Still or thunder.
Yeah, I know.
You tried. Two things. I'll talk a little bit about the Long Vista ditch is what we have dubbed it. So we're cleaning out the ditch that leads from Long Vista to the levee. We're gonna be removing a couple more trees that are actually just directly in the ditch. And then we also actually located a sinkhole area that we're repairing. So that work has been, very good. The flow on that is even more impressive than I expected. It roars through there now. So we're happy to see that drainage area working better than it has in a long time. The other thing is.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Since they put that riprap behind, it really backs up behind the apartments now. Between the trailers and the apartments, there's a low spot there. Or it was like probably a 12-foot area, now it's like a 25 to 30-foot area.
I will talk to you after the meeting and show me where. We'll see what we can do about it. Second thing, so we operate on the levee, many or multiple levee pumps. We have to close what we call our sluice gates, which keeps the interior drainage from being able to exit the levee into the exterior. So these pumps, they take that ponding area and they drain it over the levee for us so that that drainage continues, even when we have to cut off drainage through the outlet. One of those pumps in this last rain event, when we went to go turn it on, did not turn. It is the pump that is directly adjacent to Carolyn Cruz's property, to give you an idea of where it is, or we have a south lift station, south of that lift station there. So it's in that area. This pump was originally installed in 1997. When we went to go see why it was not working, it does appear that it has a motor failure. We are working on getting quotes to either have that motor rebuilt or repaired or replaced. It's likely that it's going to just need to be replaced. In the meantime, we have rented a 6-inch trash pump that we put out there. Obviously, it is not going to be able to move the same amount of water that the pump that was there will be able to move. It's very, that pump there is very nicely sized for the drainage area. So what we're doing now, especially since we appear to be entering the rainy season, is we're turning that pump on sooner. So even when we have, as soon as we're closing that gate, we're going to be turning that pump on and running it. Whereas we would normally allow the pumps on the levee to turn on as the ponding area began to fill up. So we'll be trying to get ahead of that since we know that the ability of that truck pump is going to be less to get the water out, and we'll be monitoring it. We rented a pump specifically for that location. We have a secondary pump that we just own. Lately, we've been using that on what we've dubbed the Kelly ditch, the ditch that got cleaned out as part of the 6th Street project. We'll take it up there. There's not a stationary pump at that location. So when that ditch starts to fill up and back up, we've been using it there. We can take that pump as long as it's not needed for the Kelly ditch, also over to the, I guess we'll call it the Hughes pump for now, to keep the location consistent and have both of them running. So we'll be keeping an eye on that situation. So far, we've been able to get the ponding area to drain just fine without getting close to homes or any properties or causing issues. But we'll be keeping an eye on it, and hopefully at the next council meeting, if need be, I will bring that for approval to get replaced. My bigger concern is not necessarily the cost of the motor, but being able to get it installed, and the equipment's going to be on the levee to be able to take the old piece out and install. So I'm happy to answer any questions about that pump or that motor or anything we have on that now or at a future council meeting.
Because we're still waiting on quotes on
I'm still waiting on quotes for it.
Just keeping us informed. All right, any other city staff reports? Oh, boss man.
You like barely snuck in on that one.
Oh, you didn't he say this? Hey, council. I just want to introduce you to Officer Johnson. He just recently completed the field training program with us. He lives in the city as well. So when you see him on patrol, he'll be doing everything by himself. So I have to sit in the car with him. He's done a really good job here at the city. He actually was on that house fire that happened a couple days ago. That was his first call out of FTO. Me and him went to that. So you see him around, say hi. I got anything for you real quick?
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Officer Inge. He recently just completed the Kansas Drug Recognition Expert Program. It's a long training. It's several weeks long. It's about detecting impaired drivers other than alcohol. As cops, we're really good at picking up alcohol DUIs. We're really good at enforcing those. Drug DUIs, with marijuana being legalized around us and everything else, are at an uptick. So for us to enforce that better, he's now able to do additional testing and determine what substance someone is impaired by. Pretty cool stuff. So I just want to congratulate him on his training and let you guys know kind of where we're at with that. So.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have a motion for adjournment by Mr. Bratton. Do we have a second? We have a second by Councilman Shasteen. All in favor? Aye. Aye.